Hello there, and welcome to the first ever edition of Indy SWU Fight Night. My name is Michael Basinger, aka MJ Basinger. With me are Indy's best kept secret, the local lizard legend and proprietor of Fat Matt's Backpack, Matt Falkenberg. Matt, say hi.
Hello, everyone. Wonderful to be here on a wonderful Sunday night.
Tonight we've got a matchup for you, one for the ages. We've got two-time PQ winner Indiana's own Christian Tobey going up against another two-time PQ winner in the first Star Wars Unlimited regional runner-up, Ohio's own Raytan. Let me set the stage here. So Indy SWU Fight Night proudly presents a high-stakes feature match between two of the region's most recognized competitors, Raytan piloting CAD Tarkentown and Christian Tobey commanding CAD Sundari, commonly known as CAD Blue. So why are we here? This is more than just another match. It's a chance to finally see history play out. At the Indy Planetary Qualifier for Jump to Lightspeed, fate took an unexpected turn. They were scheduled to face each other in a decisive final round, but Raytan conceded to Christian Tobey before a single card was played. Ray had already earned his spot at Galactics, and he didn't need the win. The crowd never got to see the clash they anticipated, and the duel between these top two players remains unwritten until now. Indy SWU Fight Night is bringing that story back to life in a what-if battle that pits two powerhouse players against each other in a match of pure skill, strategy, and style. Will CAD Tarkentown's relentless pressure overwhelm, or will CAD Sundari's precision and control carve the path to victory? This time, there are no concessions, only cards, combat, and clarity. You'll notice one thing about these decks, and we'll break them down here in a bit. These are the same decks they used the day of the Jump to Lightspeed PQ. There will be no Legends of the Force cards here. This is a true replica of the match that has never happened. And before we get into it, sponsors, this event is brought to you by the Indy Star Wars Unlimited Discord, the community, and Fat Matt's Backpack on TCG Player and in Fat Matt's DMs. So if you need any card, slide into Matt's DMs. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Matt as we talk about the path to victory.
Alrighty here. So first off, I'm going to go over Mr. Raytan. He had a very, very, very hard-fought 2-0 against some random Data Vault chump. I think his name might have been Fat Matt. I'm not entirely sure. But
I'm gonna unmute Ray and Christian here if they want to defend any kind of shenanigans. I'm gonna unmute them and let them say their piece. Oh, Ray has himself muted, so Ray, you can unmute yourself whenever you want to talk smack.
Sure thing.
Okay.
After I collected my teeth off the floor from the beating that Ray gave me, he proceeded on to go through two different 2-0 undefeated streaks against a Sabine ECL and then a Darth Vader Yellow. Right after that, he did fight a Han 2 Data Vault. Hard fought. He's got it 2-1 again, and then again 2-1 another Sabine ECL. And then to top it off, another 2-0 victory by Raytan here against a Han 1 Green. Seems like last round before the top cut, we might have been playing a little sloppy. We might have just been nice to our opponents because Ray did take an 0-2 loss to Boba 4 Yellow here. And before I go into the top cut, I'm going to cover Christian's road to victory as well. Christian also started off with a 2-1 against a Keyrod Data Vault, 2-0 against a Ray Data Vault, 2-0 against a Grand Inquisitor Security Complex. Spicy brew to see at the PQ, even that long ago. I know it was still spicy to see at the time. Han 2 Data Vault, he took that with a 2-0. He also lost 0-2 to a Boba 4 Yellow. So maybe that might be a common theme here, chat. There might be some secret text for you Boba players on how to beat these CADs. He took it with a 2-1 against a Han 2 Blue, and then it seems like last round, he took an ID against a Han 2 Blue again. Now, Raytan, Christian, do either of you have any comments before I start going into the top cut here?
Nothing on my end.
All right. Ray, do you have any comments about that first match you had against Fat Matt? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. You're muted on your end.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great match with Fat Matt. I will say there was one very interesting line of play. I think Fat Matt was playing Kira Data Vault and used Kira Leader ability to shield Reinforcement Walker. If you guys know, Reinforcement Walker has 9 toughness. So if you shield it, it's now 7 toughness with a shield. And I was able to put an unrefusable offer bounty on the Reinforcement Walker and then crash a Forlorn pumped Zuckus 7/7 Saboteur to cleanly take out the Reinforcement Walker. And then, of course, right, the rest is history. You play the Reinforcement Walker, you draw a card, you swing, you draw another card, and it's too much value. So if you're a Kiro player and they have the Forlum, don't shield your Reinforcement Walker. That 9 toughness is more valuable than the shield on it.
We're getting lessons here from Ray Tan. I love it.
I made greedy plays and Ray punished me for it. There's a reason that he made the top 8 that day, yet alone second in an ID, and I didn't. There's a very, very firm reason here.
Yep. Ray do be very good at this game. Who knew?
All right, circling back to the top 8 cut here. It seems like for the first round of top 8, Ray faced off against a Han 4 Data Vault, and he 2-0'd it without any kind of issue. Christian, in his first round of top 8, 2-0'd a Han 1 Data Vault without any kind of issue. Going into the top 4, we see Ray Tan here, 2-1'd another Sabine ECL. Seems like he just had their number all day. And Christian redeemed himself with a 2-0 against Boba 4 Yellow. So, Boba 4 players, maybe I take back what I said a little bit earlier. We might have to evaluate some play lines here. But from the monumentous journey that both of these people went through to that day, they settled out as friends, and Christian was able to walk away with a victory and take his invite to Worlds. But that is exactly why we're here today, to see how this day really would have fallen through our titans of the community.
Yes. There is one story I want to tell real quick before we get started in this, because this is the Indy SWU versus everybody. And I think I've told everybody here in this room about this conversation I had, but I was down at Misio's PQ in Kentucky, and I met this player. He was a nice guy. Can't remember his username. But I was telling him I was from Indianapolis. He's like, oh, one of my favorite players is from Indianapolis. And I said, oh, that's awesome. And I said, who's your favorite player? He said, Ray Tan. And I just laughed and said, yep, me too. So Ray Tan, not from Indianapolis, but we will claim him as ours. So let's do we're going to get into the deck lists themselves here a little bit and kind of see what we're looking at. Let me pull that up real quick. You want to start with Christians or Rays?
I have Christians on my screen right now.
All right, let's do that. So we're going to hide our faces for a little bit and talk about this Cad Bane, he who needs no introduction, with the Sundari base.
All righty here. So it looks like we have Christian's blue Cad deck list. Everyone who's known Christian in the slightest has known this has been his bread and butter for such a long time. So let's take a deep dive here.
Either this or Bo-Katan, for sure.
Yeah. Bo-Katan is when he wants to just kind of play around, but I think Cad comes out when he wants to be a little bit serious and truly show us what his knowledge of this game equates of.
That's true. He has won 2 PQs and only top 8'd 1 with Bo. So
only, it's still more than most of us have done with anything.
Yeah, that is true.
So starting off the deck list here, we're just going to start off right at the top row here. We'll see if we'll see anything that kind of jumps out as a nice surprise from the main deck. We're starting off with 3 copies of Forlom, 3 copies of Bazine, 2 copies of Boba Fett, 3-drop, 2 copies of Boba Fett Pilot, which I know it might be a little bit of a questionable choice here, but later in the deck list, it'll make tremendously more sense. Then we got carrying out on our top end here, it looks like we have 3 Cad Banes and 2 Dryden Boss. Seems like a nice little combo here, and Christian seems like he knows exactly what matchups he's trying to attack. Those with heavier cost finishers that he is going to be able to take and close out the game himself when he steals them. Basinger, did you have comments? I feel like I heard.
Yeah. So the one thing I will mention again, for those just joining us, this is a list without any of the latest set on there. This is the list that they used had they matched up at the Indy PQ. So the Boba move, I feel like the Boba pilot move is very indicative of that, because I don't think you see a ton of that in CAD anymore. But for jump to light speed, pilot decks were a little bit more heavy. They're heavy right now too, but I think for that era, this is definitely a time where pilots and ships were played a lot more than they currently are.
Oh yeah, we're definitely looking at time capsule list here, and it's even made more obvious when we look at the 3 missed hunters and the 1 confiscate in the sideboard and the 1 in main deck as
yeah.
well. Like it truly does speak to the time and the climate of the meta that Christian was facing.
Yeah. One thing I think it's spicy too is the Dryden Voss. That's one thing that I think is a signature of Christian's deck is all the capture with Dryden Voss, being able to use Dryden to play a captured unit from your enemy. So you capture, let's say, and that's not going to happen today, but let's say you capture Luke Skywalker with the Cad Bane unit. Then you play Dryden Voss, and then you can uncapture Luke and then play him against your opponent. You basically use their Luke against them.
Oh yeah, card advantage is so easy to obtain if you're forcing your opponent to use their cards to answer their own cards. And Christian seems to have a very good curve, or actually both of them seem to have a really good idea on how to get that as to the maximum effect that they can. And kind of continuing on here, we see at our 6-drop slot, we have another signature by Christian, an Indy Nest here. This one requires a little bit more in-depth of a spotlight, because it is an unseen, not unseen, but an uncommon card to be seen in most lists. Curving out at 6, it's a 5/4 with ambush. And it also has, when a friendly unit is attacking using ambush, the defender gets a -3/-0, which at first glance does not seem that impactful. But then you start to realize that ambush trade-off just allows you to get so many more value plays, especially when you have Orlom setting up your Zuckuss ambushes, or even just a late-game Orlom itself, being able to sometimes survive an ambush into some of these bigger threats.
Yeah. Yeah, the Indy Nest is good. I love that character. I know this isn't stuff about Star Wars Unlimited, but I do love the character. I really wish you could see more of Erin Kellyman. Just an iconic looking character, and her portrayal of Indy Nest is, man, I wish there was more content out there.
It is very iconic, because as I feel like I'm a Star Wars fan, but then every day I get shown something else about this universe that I'm just unaware of, and she's one of them. Her design just is so eye-appealing, unique, that I really had no idea who she was before she made a brief introduction into, I might out myself here, but I think it was a movie.
Yeah,
Didn't tell you where it was.
The Solo movie. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, look at that. Moving on from our fanboying over here, we got 3 copies of Lompike, which has seen a drastic increase of play, especially as of lately. This was kind of some of the starting, I feel like some of the starting times you were starting to see Lompike commonly in lists.
Yeah, I think the people who have picked up this deck since Christian has kind of made it more popular have commented about how much they enjoy the Lompike part of it, and how integral that has been to this deck.
But circling back again to the card advantage, being able to smuggle out additional threats and maintain that ever increasing hand size to answer everything your opponent's doing, it just really pays off the later the game goes, and Christian just loves to go that late game.
He does love the late game, that is for sure.
But bouncing from our late game threats here, we do have a couple or 3 copies of Lompike, just a solid 2-drop on the ground to Sentinel, curving out into 2 copies of Snoke here. Snoke is always an invaluable answer to have against many, many decks across the meta.
I just hate Snoke. I hate Snoke so much. I hate that card.
Snoke is one of the cards that gets that reaction from half the player base, and the other half are players of Snoke. So it's such a polarizing card, and that just attributes to how many decks it really is important against. Then we got our 3 copies of Zuckuss here, obviously, to go along with our 3 copies of Boron. Sure, everyone knows this, but this is a pseudo 2-card combo that you're going to answer effectively anything your opponent does. As Raytan even said earlier, just the punishing plays you get to set up with an ambushing Saboteur is unreal and so hard to come back from.
Yeah.
We got 3 copies of Space Cartel, 3 copies of Jumpmaster, and 3 copies of Miss Hunter, followed up by 2 copies of Star Hopper here. I'm not going to attempt to mispronounce that, but
I would say Zygerian. I don't know if that's probably wrong.
Zygerian Star Hopper, but these 11 copies of spaceships just reinforces how the time capsule that we're looking at, because this was Jump to Light Speed. Spaceships were just so much more common, so you really had to make sure you had a game plan in order to answer what your opponent was going to be trying to punch you with in the space lane here. Following that up, oh, go ahead, Dazinger.
One thing that I will mention that that I noticed is missing in this deck list that I don't know if it's in Christian's more recent list or not, but no Hotshot Blaster in this. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, that is an interesting call out here. But I do.
One of my favorite moves whenever I flip CAD is to do the Relentless Pursuit, grab something that's valuable, and then use a Hotshot Blaster and just go straight to base.
No, you're right. That is a great pressure line, but I think this kind of speaks to the fact that Christian was trying to take the games longer. He wasn't looking for an easy closeout. He was wanting to slowly snuff the life out of everything that he interacted with.
All right. Any other comments about that last line of cards?
We got single Confiscate. We spoke on that earlier. 3 McClunky, 3 Power, 2 Pursuit, and 2 Sidon. Again, speaking to how powerful the space lane was in general earlier, just being able to get 3 damage on your opponent's turn 1 spaceship.
And Sidon is really cool for the against the the Lurking TIE Phantom. So popping that on there, sinking it to the bottom of the ocean, great move.
Wonderful.
And we'll break down the sideboards in between games 1 and 2. Are we ready to go over? Christian, is there anything that we've missed that you want to bring up? Any points? Anything that we're just dead wrong on?
Not really. Hot Shot Relentless Pursuit is cute and all, but like Power of the Dark Side Relentless Pursuit is usually better.
There we go. Snuffing the life.
Not used to the blue. Not used to the blue. That's actually a really good call out, because I usually use Tarkentown, so the 3/3 that makes sense. You can grab something expensive and then get rid of whatever else they've got.
Doesn't Hot Shot flip for 4 as well? Like smuggle in for 4?
It does. No, it smuggles in for 3.
Oh, okay. See, it's been so long since I played the card. I've been on such a Kirov kick. But all right. We're ready to go over Mr. Newt's list over here.
All right. Let me Raytan. Here we go. Cad Bane, He Who Needs No Introduction, Tarkentown.
All right.
Crossover in this.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of similarities because obviously Cad is so integral to the underworld trait. Going off here, 3 Forlon, 3 Bazine, 3 Boba Fett, 2 Bosk. Bosk has been not in the meta for a while, so just as a friendly reminder, he's 5-drop, 4/5 ambushes. When you play an event, you also get to shoot something else for 2 damage. So Bosk just allows you to maintain even further bird control as you're playing all your cheap events here. Go ahead, Big Sayer.
Oh, I still love Bosk. I don't know if Ray's still using Bosk in his current build, but I'm still a big Bosk fan. Ray, are you still using Bosk?
Absolutely. Bosk is really powerful into the hero decks, the blue-red heroic decks, but in addition, this current meta is chock full of upgrades, specifically pilots, which means I'm playing the maximum 3 bamboozles, right? There's Kylo 5 Tarkentown, Kylo 5 Data Vault even that necessitates bamboozle. And when you can Bosk and you're tapped out of your resources and then you just bamboozle for free out of your hand, that is a very potent play. It is a high tempo play. So you definitely have to have some Bosks to capitalize on that as well.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't even think of the play lines with free bamboozles and buff. And again,
Oh,
that
yeah.
just attributes to why Ray is a champion here. Uh,
For sure.
Going through further here, we got the same 3 CADs, 3 crafty smugglers, obvious, just a good 2/2 shielded body, 3 Greedos, we got 2 Jabba the Hutts, 2 8 4-drop here, when played, look at the top 8, I believe. 8 cards in your deck, 4 8 trick, and put 1 into your hand. Maintaining card advantage just as a mid-range deck here, showing how important it is to get every value you can drip out of your cards. Going through, we got 3 Zuckus, 3 Cartel Spacer, 2 Houndstooth, which Houndstooth is another uncommon one. When it attacks, if it's attacking an exhausted unit, it deals damage before the defender. So a lot of times Houndstooth here can really set you up for some clean plays if your opponent is not tricky and does not answer it. Following that, we have 1 copy of IG 2000, 2 copies of Mist Hunter, that 1 copy of Bamboozle that Ray has already kind of spoken on. Go ahead, Basinger. I can tell you're itching to say something.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right.
I'm just reading comments over here. So
Oh,
you're
no,
good.
I'm not paying attention to comments at all. I'm looking at time and realized that I let us linger a little bit.
No, you're good. You're good.
But we got 3 McClunkies here, obvious, just good removal, especially paired with the Greedo, so free to play. We got 3, now there are 2 of them. This is a pseudo greedy card, but on the times it pays off, it really can just allow you to win the matchup. And I think Raytan was probably able to use this to his advantage, especially seeing that he fought 3 different Sabine ECL lists. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he got quite a few of these off to great success. Followed up by 2 Relentless Pursuits, just seem to be a staple in any cat deck we have here. 2 Sneak Attacks allow so many explosive play lines through everything we have going on here. 3 Surprise Strikes, following up that explosiveness with 3 Hot Shot Blasters. So he has so much room here to just take away huge chunks of base damage from his opponent and just really, really close out the game when it's unexpected the moment someone goes shields down. To curve out the list here, we have 2 copies of Waylay. Just seem to be like a general catch-all for anything that he doesn't want to answer right now, or just a way to bounce Tide Phantoms with the pilot, anything that is just eluding him at the moment. But I guess that kind of tops off everything that I have to go over. Cad named Targentown. It seems like we all kind of know the same old song and dance. Cad pings something, he blows it up with Tarkentown, and then he's just ahead on tempo the entire game. And then following all these explosive play lines, it's easy to see how he was able to close out so many victories that day.
Ray, is there anything we missed in your deck list here?
Let's see. Yeah, I am not running 50 cards. I have not run 50 card decks in quite some time. And my personal philosophy has always been that I am willing to sacrifice a small amount of consistency in exchange for never drawing dead. And there's very few, if you ever played poker or anything, it's a sad feeling to be drawing dead, right? Going to draw stuff, and you draw 2 a turn. So because you draw 2 a turn, 1-ofs in this game have a lot more equity because in card games, what we call card velocity, right? You're seeing so much more of your deck. And so a lot of the times that 51st and 52nd card tends to be Bamboozle, right? Again, you don't want to be facing against Boba 4 without Bamboozle because then you truly are drawing dead with your measly 25 health base, right? So Bamboozle, maybe that second Waylay is a 52nd card, and these are also tricks. And so not only are you including cards that make it so that you're not drawing dead in key situations, you also increase the trick density with Jabba the Hutt. And so, being able to search the top 8 cards of your deck also helps to ameliorate some of that inconsistency, that minor inconsistency that going to 52 versus staying at 50 makes.
Now there are 2 of them as a trick, correct?
Indeed. And so that the trick density is very high, higher than most Cat Darkened Towns.
That's another great synergy that you have built in here with the Jabba, being able to search up any kind of trick that's really allowing you to take the explosive line into a shield down opponent. I really, really like that.
Right, and it's a very bad feeling to whiff when you do a Jabba trigger. You want that card advantage. Even if I grab now there are 2 of them and I don't really want to expose say, a high priority unit into a kill spell, I can always just resource them. Now there are two of them, right? It's a resource that means I don't have to resource one of my other units that I can use to go wide or something of the sort.
Maintaining that pseudo card advantage just by keeping a threat dense hand is another great call out.
All right, let's are you guys ready for this battle to happen? Ready to finally end the beef? Figure out who's going to win this?
The beef.
There's no beef.
There's so much beef between Christian and Ray, it's palpable. Man, I felt like I had something I was gonna. It's gone. It's just completely gone.
It's all right. So we're casual production here, Baysinger.
We are casual, completely casual. Oh yeah, I remember now. So we did have a poll in the Indy Discord. So there is a slight skew for who's going to win. So the question is who is going to win this match, and by a large margin, Christian Tobey was selected by the Indy SWU Discord to be the winner. However, one of the votes that said that Ray would win was none other than Christian Tobey himself.
I saw that too. I will take pride that I was the first vote cast and throwing my hat in here for Christian. I am going to believe the surgical precision of Sundari is going to take away from the surgical tricksiness that Ray Tan is going to try to bring to the table today.
I don't know. It's gonna be a battle. I did not vote because I couldn't pick. I want to see it go down. Have you guys played before in a competitive setting with these decks?
Yeah, tell him, Christian.
How'd it go, Christian?
I mean, I think I played him when he was on Boba, and then we played again whenever I was on Bo-Katan and he was on
Quinlan ECL.
Yes, Quinlan ECL.
A dark time.
But I just so happened to lose both of those.
Yeah. So now you definitely need like triple redemption here, buddy.
Oh, 100%.
All right, Christian, let's go ahead and fire up the link. If you've got it, if you can send it to me, that would be great.
Absolutely.
I do want to point out the history of decks from Ray here. It sounds like Boba yellow and then on to green Quinlan, which is another ping deck, and then kind of settling here on Cad Tarkin down. Shows that he has a finesse for these aggressive tempo decks.
Christian, I just got your message saying it doesn't show the enable spectate. It says, can you enable that and see if that works at all?
Yeah, I've clicked it a couple times and it doesn't.
It is not working. Oh, well, that's great.
No.
Let me...
Technical difficulties.
Try
it again. I just clicked enable spectating as well.
Okay. Let me just recreate the lobby and see if that does it.
Here, Michael, let me try to send the spectator link to you.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Just in the Discord.
Yep.
I'm going to take a 20-second step away from the computer while we are having technical difficulties.
Yep.
I will return.
Go for it. It looks like we do have the link. Spectate link.
I just left that one, so hold up. Let me get everything.
Oh, you left the lobby?
Yes.
Oh, well, the link that... Okay, yeah, it just says it's got... I do see it. The link that Ray sent me does work. It just says the player 2-1, so we've already got a concession here.
You said no concessions, right?
No concessions, guys. You cannot concede.
I'm just trying to prove you wrong.
All right. You can tell this is a professional production here, guys.
All right, Ray, I sent it to you on Discord.
All right, looking at some comments, we have got Michael rocking the SM58 microphone like he's got Stapp singing higher. So that's thanks. Not a big Creed fan, but I have had this microphone since Scott Stapp and Creed were a thing.
Wonderful to see all the names in chat, by the way. I greatly appreciate all the support everyone is providing us here on our first Indy SWU fight night.
Yes, and we will have a drawing, a giveaway at the end here, and then we're also probably going to talk a little bit. If people are interested, we will talk about what we think will happen in the announcement tomorrow regarding the meta.
3 giveaways as a correction for
3 giveaways. So stick around, and we will tell you how to sign up for those shortly. Christian, do we have an update on the link?
Yes, it still won't let me send it. So
All right. It looks like Ray just sent me a new link.
Perfect.
Oh, why? Christian, just your account is not wanting to do it. What the hell? Gonna directly reach out to our people. Let me switch this around.
Are we ready to go, Michael?
I think we are ready to go, y'all.
6 copies of Force Throw.
Ray and Christian, you want me to drop you out of the chat?
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Toodaloo, boys.
I will move you. I'll bring you back at the end. You're more than welcome to come back. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got, it looks like Christian on top and Ray on bottom.
With Ray this initiative.
Okay, they will announce that you can run up to 6 copies of Force Throw now. Oh, somebody said, whoa, no Indy SWU card backs. That's true. Good luck. Have fun.
That is a huge travesty.
Yeah, we'll have to give these guys some bad feedback. Oh, there goes Sidon with
there's Sidon, the easy call out we had earlier, putting 3 damage on the turn 1 space unit.
So we can't see it looks like Ray played Boba, Christian with the Jump Master. They are so fast, and in real life they are just as fast. These are some of the smoothest players I've ever played.
It does seem like Ray is pushing for the ground pressure right now, though. So it's going to be a matter of, can Christian try to fend off the pressure? Oh, and a hot
Ray
shot
with a hot shot. Oh, McClunky.
That's a great punish play.
Yeah, I love it. So Ray's back with Greedo.
Okay, and we have some. Let's keep in mind, everyone, Tarkentown still has not been used. So Ray does have the ability to push advantage back in his favor nearly at a moment's notice.
Oh,
just like we have here, that boss is going to come down, take out that Boba Fett. Now Christian is facing 7 power across 2 bodies on the board.
He's going to ping. Oh, there goes Greedo.
Really?
That's an interesting choice. Oh, he undid the action.
Okay, there we go.
All right, there we go. That makes more sense.
Now we feel like we know what we're doing.
He was probably so fast he was ready to attack with Greedo.
Yeah.
So, all right. I love that it says player 1 and player 2. It doesn't give their actual usernames away, which is good.
Yep. See, so my bad at this click right there.
Yep. Christian says all good. All right.
One of the benefits of playing on this platform is the forgiving undo button.
Not so Christian claimed without attacking with the Jump Master. That's interesting. So he wanted to get something. He played Cartel to exhaust.
Again, Greedo. Christian wants to slowly grip out the life. He is not worried about this early game chip damage. He wants to make sure that going into each and every round, he's going to maintain the advantage here.
And so he's forcing Ray right now. You can say he's thinking. He's forcing Ray right now to decide if he's going to use the ping on Greedo or on Bosk.
Yeah.
That's the choice. And he goes with Greedo. Interesting.
So example, if the Cartel Spacer was just any Underworld unit, but he could have grabbed a McClunky and then turned with initiative. McClunky cleared his board here and then was facing no pressure for the turn.
All right. I don't know if it'll show us what he's going to see.
It should say it in the chat box.
Zygerian, Starhopper, Cad Bane, the unit, Power of the Dark Side are revealed. This is turn 6.
Okay. Taking Cad, that does not surprise me at all.
Yep.
Power is just going to get eaten up by the Bazine here. Oh, no. Or let's see what Christian does. Does he want to maintain board control and take out the Bazine? Is he going to put his Cad in danger and take out the Bosk? Or is he going to just go straight for base damage?
Ray gets to move first, though. I think we're on Ray's turn right now. He is, because Christian did the deploy. Now Ray is going to, is thinking, trying to decide what he's going to do with Bosk. Is he going to go straight for base, or is he going to put a dent in that Cad?
Well, it is safe to say that because Ray knows that there's no hotshot blaster in Blue Cad, so he's not facing any kind of extra burst damage that's going to be coming. So he does have a relatively safe Cad flip going into this turn as well.
Starting to get a little bit. Oh, there we go. Oh, he did surprise strike. Oh, that's good.
See, one of the strengths of Cad of having 8 HP means that he doesn't get answered in a single action. But when you can do it like this, it is so debilitating.
Power of the dark side, CAD flip. So you'll notice whenever he attacked with Bosk, since he used surprise strike, he got the extra 2 damage to push it over to kill CAD. That's what happened there. All right, we're back. Oh man, Ray has just really got Christian going.
Aren't looking great right now, I think, for Christian, especially, or that Innis Nest does help change the board position a little bit here.
Yeah.
But Ray's hand having twice as many cards in hand than Christian does put him at a slight advantage, because I don't think Starhopper nor Cartel Spacer mean that much at this stage of the game.
Oh no, they mean nothing now. Oh no, he took Memphis Nest. Oh geez.
There's the board clear.
Oof. Christian was on the back foot. Yep. On the back foot for sure.
Even though Christian's on blue villain, unfortunately, he doesn't have the super laser blast for board.
Oh, power of the dark side.
That's a good hit either which way.
Yep. And if Christian had another Cad Bane, he could potentially take it. Christian takes Memphis Nest back, which is great.
Raytan's going to draw 2 off that, so that's just going to further in the card advantage. Opening up these explosive play lines, he only has 4 HP to go. As soon as he untaps with a unit, I think this might be the seal of game 1. I'm going to assume there has to be a hot shot blaster in those 8 resources that Ray has tucked away.
Well, Ray is thinking. So the question is, does Ray claim and just auto win, or does he and hope that Christian doesn't have an answer for CAD? You know, whether it be
okay, so there's a Misthunter clearing through the power of the dark side.
Okay. So Christian already claimed. I just now saw that.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of seals it, I think. Here,
yeah, I think
ground sentinels.
I think Christian is cooked.
All right, and that takes it. Ray wins game 1.
All right. Let me let them know. Give us a sec to sideboard and send. All right, let me see where we're at here. I don't think I don't know if it will. Lawson will choose the first player in the rematch. Okay, so maybe it will let us continue to watch on this link.
I hope so.
If not, I asked them to send us a link again just in case it doesn't.
I don't say chat behind the curtain thinking worst comes to worst, they can make another lobby.
Yes, and that's what I texted them to say, hey, just send us a link either way, just so we can kind of see it. You left a comment pinned. I'm not sure what that means. If I did, I apologize.
Evan Slaggle, thank you for complimenting mine and Basinger's voices. I know that I think about you every night. I'm not sure if Basinger does, but you hold a special place in my heart, friend.
All right. I'm only seeing the comments in the. Okay, I see Evan. Hey, Evan, what's up?
You have a bigger job than I do, Basinger. I'm here purely on looks and connections. You're the man behind the computer.
All right. I'm gonna double check with the guys and say perfect, no worries. Okay. Oh, so we do need to discuss the sideboards real quick. So they're actually waiting on us. So Ray's sideboard here, he has got Lurking Tie Phantom. He's got another Bamboozle. It looks like, what is that third card?
No Good to Me Dead.
No, is it? Yeah. It is No Good to Me Dead. Then Relentless Pursuit and Unrefusable Offer. Any thoughts on those, Matt?
I hate Unrefusable Offer so much, especially now that these two have popularized this play line. I remember the good old days before this was on anyone's radar.
And everyone thought it was a terrible prize card.
Yes.
I think Ray definitely brings in Lurking Tie Phantom for No Good to Me Dead. That's really my only commentary. Maybe a No Good to Me Dead as well. I'm sorry. Lurking Tie Phantom for Power of the Dark Side.
Really? Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. See, I'm not so sure how I feel on that, especially knowing that Christian, because Ray knows that Christian is on main deck side on. So he already runs answers for the TIE Phantom, but it's also a good point because it does nullify the CAD pings entirely as well. So I could see it being brought in. We'll see if I'm proved wrong here if it makes it to the board.
All right. And then let's look at Ray's real quick. He's got Boba Fett. Oh, no, this is Christian.
Christians.
Christian has Boba Fett, Iden, Pilot, Confiscate, Fell the Dragon, which we could see, and Unrefusable Offer.
I think we are quicker to see the 3 offers come in from Christian here as opposed to the Fell the Dragons.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because there is only Cad and Zuckuss to hit with Fell the Dragon out of Raytan's list, unless we are going for the out of hitting something that has a hotshot blaster. But I think I don't know. I just have a feeling that Unrefusable Offer comes in instead. But these 2 are the CAD mains, and we will see what really comes in here.
These are the professional CAD players for sure. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna let them know that we're good. All right. Let's see if it goes into the next little section. Pop them a link when we get in. Oh, it worked. So it just went straight into the next game. Perfect.
All right, sounds good.
Original link worked.
All right, so we have Raytan with initiative here again. It really seems like, unless he's trying to be very greedy, a lot of his turn 1 plays are kind of shut off by whatever Christian can do. So we'll see what Ray chooses to throw away first.
And one thing I want to mention to everyone watching, we are doing giveaways at the end, and we are going to talk a little bit about the meta shakeup coming on tomorrow.
Again, casual production, high level of professionalism here.
Christian did take a mulligan, and it's so we do know that at least something didn't work. Oh, Ray with the Bazine.
Turn 1 Bazine.
And I took Pike Sentinel.
There we go. That is a great play by Ray, reading the room, seeing that Christian was already digging, trying to get a suitable hand, and then wanting to pick it apart the moment he got the chance.
So other thing I want to mention, he's got Mist Hunter, the Cad Bane hostage taker as well. I missed what the other one was, but
I did as well.
It moved too fast.
I was too excited about the play in general.
I'm pretty sure there was a CAD unit in there.
Let's see if chat tells us anything.
Chat, let us know.
Oh, another Mist Hunter coming down. Bazine eating the ping, the good thing she's here for. Let's see if she becomes an ambush target or if she is a McClunky that comes through. Okay, a Greedo coming down. Seems like we're going wide with some body pressure here, getting good safety against Power of the Dark Side.
Wyatt says that you need to be selling your Cad Bane showcase. Well, I have news. Wyatt, I bought the Cad Bane showcase.
I've gotten quite a few people showcases, Wyatt. It's not my fault that other people have gotten there before you.
Oh, geez. All right. Ray does have a pretty wide board right now.
It is looking fragile, though.
Yeah, it's not strong.
Yeah, Mist Hunter and Greedo can both only take 1 ping, and that Bazine is just a free 4-lom eat.
Yeah, and 2 of them died a ping. Bazine can eat another ping. Oh, he took that. All right, I'm wondering if we're going to see a McClunky.
Oh, he played another Mist Hunter right after. That seems like an easy decision to make there then.
Okay. All right. Christian did not attack with Boba, it doesn't appear. But did attack Bazine right off the rip. I wonder if he was expecting a McClunky with Bazine.
It's very, very... I was expecting McClunky with Bazine. Why am I being offered cards in chat right now? Shane, talking my DMs, but...
Okay, we have got... it looks like Ray's thinking this one over. He put the ping on the Mist Hunter.
All right.
But that Zuckuss is big. Here's a lurking TIE Phantom that I thought he would side in for sure.
All right. So let's see. Basinger knows more about the CAD than I do. Not surprised.
Yep. He's going to that's going to absorb pings from here on out.
Yeah.
Unless he puts the side on there.
I am interested to see what Ray is going to do about this Zuckuss, though.
Yeah, the Zuckuss is just a beast,
because
man.
we have not gotten a peek into Ray's side, so we really don't know if he's sitting on a CAD, if he's hoping to draw one in the next turn, or what his formulation is. I mean, honestly, the answer could just be a surprise strike Greedo into the Zuckuss, and
he's currently deciding
right
on his resource right now. So it looks like he's on 5 resources, waiting to go into 6. So he's probably mulling over. He must either he has nothing or he has too many good things. Oh, the Forlom. Oh, jeez.
Atta boy, Christian. So much pressure coming back through, but he needs it here. Looking at that, just with the power on board, he's going to be sitting at 21 at the end of this turn, and if he doesn't do something about this space lane.
So I'm wondering what Christian's, if he's got something for those other 2 resources, if he's got side on, just sitting there for that lurking tie.
That sounds like a Christian play. We've already seen a Pipe Sentinel come down in the discard.
Cartel, exhaust Boba.
That is, with a CAD attack, Christian is going to be sitting at 25 base damage this turn if Ray gets to go face with everything. That is such a scary spot to be in.
Christian flipped CAD, I think with the intent to get a double ping somewhere. So I'm wondering if he's going to side on and then have to hit something else with 2.
Even if the side on comes through.
No side on.
Yeah, it's like that speaks to no cartel spacer as well. I'm really, really unsure if Christian is trying to bluff here, or maybe he's just sitting on nothing and just has to try to get some of that pressure through.
Yeah. So we got Forlom out. It looks like he's trying to decide where the ping. Christian's deciding where the ping's going to go. Would be my guess. Because I don't think they pinged, and so therefore, Ray is making. Oh nope! It looks like Ray is the one that's thinking. So maybe he's trying to decide if he's going to force Christian to do the ping first, and then attack.
Well, let's see here. I guess
because the double ping. So in a perfect world, Christian decides to put the double ping on Zuckuss, and then Ray will Forlom into Zuckuss, but Christian's not going to fall for that.
Yeah, I would assume not.
Oh, and the double ping goes to CAD.
So he ambushed first, took out the Boba.
Yeah.
The easy, which makes sense. Take out the easy ping target first and make them put it on pressure. Christian's looking at 5 life this turn. It really could just be a single action that Raytan closes out this game and chalks up another 2-0 into his arsenal.
Yeah, this is a clinic by Ray so far. I'm not sure all Ray would need.
A hot shot and his 7 resources down there.
Yep. A hot shot or surprise strike.
Yeah.
And he's got it.
I don't think we've seen a surprise strike played this game yet.
All right. There's CAD. He's going to capture as much as he can.
Yeah. So he takes out everything in space lane.
So all Ray really has to do, that was the right move for Ray.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep. There it is. Raytan chalks up another 2-0.
Raytan 2-0.
Again, speaking to the precision that he gets with these tempo aggro decks, speaking through his history, such an aggressive player.
All right. Ray is back.
There he is, Mr. Teeth Kicker himself.
Raytan. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Good games, Christian.
Good games.
All right. Thank you guys for doing this. Nice work. We got a lot of GGs in the chat. From Zach, from Wyatt, we've got Fate Sealed. Nice work from Evan.
Basinger, before we go on too far, I do want to go ahead and tell people to enter one of the 3 giveaways that we will cover further on after some more of our discussion. I need you to type your Discord tag as well as enter raffle into the comments of the stream. And then later when we go to do the drawing, we'll pull it from everyone who's entered that in the chat.
All right. Again, that's your Discord name and enter raffle in the comments on here to get entered into one of our 3 raffles that we're giving away. Any post game thoughts, Christian?
No, not really.
What happened?
Well, I realized I resourced aside in game 2, and I was just like, I forgot about the lurking tie, and I was just like, that's probably a good game, unless I top deck another one.
A classic greedy play line that Ray is good at punishing.
Yep.
All right, Ray, any thoughts?
They're good games on either side. Let's see. I guess technically I misclicked, so that's no takesy backsies, right?
You threw me and Basinger in an uproar on that first one. We were sitting here trying to figure out what we didn't know, and then that undo came through, and we
No. I'm the one that didn't know, but no. It's tricky. Lurking Tie Phantom is probably at its worst against specifically Christian's deck, because he, above all other control-esque late-game decks, runs a combination of 2 Zygerian Star Hoppers, 3 Cartel Spacers. He's got the Sentinel ship. He's got the Mist Hunters. He's just got a smorgasbord of ships ready to smack into Lurking Tie Phantom.
He came in with 11 space bodies that could take out.
Yeah. Plus the pilots on it to make them even stickier, right? So it's kind of like a thread your threats kind of situation where it ended up that I had the moment to play the Lurking Tie Phantom there as a 3+2 with the Surprise Strike, because I had the double. I don't know if you guys probably couldn't see my side, but I actually resourced a Boba Fett unit on turn 2, because when I saw his hand, I saw Snoke in CAD and I saw his own Mist Hunter. So I was like, okay, I have a Mist Hunter in my hand. I'm not going to play the Boba. I'm going to play the Mist Hunter to clear to sort of ping his Mist Hunter, clear the way for my Lurking Tie Phantom to be uncontested. And so that pretty much only leaves a Cartel Spacer if you guys establish anything on the ground, or a lucky Sidani Thano. That he has to top deck, right, to get the Lurking Tie Phantom, because the Lurking Tie Phantom does so much to shut out. It's every CAD player's worst nightmare. It cannot be captured either, which is relevant text. So you cannot take it with CAD Bang unit either. So that's one of the win cons, but it's not your primary one. The primary one is still to pressure and go as wide as you can.
Ray has a new nickname called the Punisher. There we go.
Punisher. Glad to see it. Wait till you get a meme of your face over a Punisher body.
That's next. We do have a question. Can you discuss any changes you've made from these lists from this version to your current versions? Because you're both still on the CAD Tarkentown and the CAD.
Not after Monday. Just kidding.
Not after
Just kidding. It's not going to happen. So I can go first.
Yeah.
Christian, for example, has one really cool unit called Dryden Voss.
Quick interruption. Do we maybe have an image that we could throw up?
I don't have one handy.
Maybe throw up the old deck list so that we can see a direct reference.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know I'm not a CAD connoisseur. I used to be, but I can't tell you Ray's deck list off the top of my head, and he seems to be talking some high level knowledge here.
Yeah, you're a failed CAD player.
So I guess real quick, I think we can definitely do a little deep dive into CAD before we talk about the bans on potential bans on Monday. Let me really quick, Michael, I'm going to send you an image of my current CAD list.
Okay.
So you can put that up also and compare. Right. But just going into it, just covering a few things. Dryden Voss, I want to touch on that briefly. At sector qualifiers in Richmond, so several months ago, almost half a year ago, I ran one copy of that card, and it lost me the game. It was day 2, and I was playing against Quillen Tarkentown, and this lost me I had to go undefeated on day 2 to make it to top 8. I lost against Quillen Tarkentown because I was still running. I was running. Now there are 2 of them, and the only 7 drop I had, I had maneuvered the field to where we were entering 5 resources, and I only had 1 unit on board. And when I went to go play my now there are 2 of them, I'm like, well, I don't have a CAD unit. All I have is this Dryden Voss, and the Quillen player's get that shit out of here. It was so bad. It lost me the game. If it was any other payoff. So, and Dryden Voss is a bit of a, it's a bit of a win more card, right? Because you have to have established a CAD Bang unit captured something you want to play, not just a bunch of weenies, and then have your opponent not have the immediate answer, in which case you're probably winning anyways, where you just surprise strike your CAD and do 10 and count to whatever, multiple of 30. You can count to 30 very quickly if you count by tens, right? So Dryden Boss was cut from my deck very quickly after my experience at Sectors in favor of the Unrefusable Offer that you guys saw that I brought to Minnesota, because Unrefusable Offer does a similar role to Dryden Boss, where you basically clear out what's under the CAD and get a bit of extra equity, while being able to split that resource cost over multiple turns. So rather than playing 7 for CAD and then having to have an available 7 on the 8 resource turn, or a 7 to basically consume your whole turn, now you can say, okay, I've got a spare 2 resources here and there. I'm going to play, you've played your home one, you've played your Luke. I'm going to play my Unrefusable Offer now, and then in a future turn, I can cash that in. Obviously, you run the risk of decks like Han Yellow, which has 9 copies of Bounce, right? Cartel, Cantina Bouncer can bounce their own stuff. Waylay can bounce their own stuff. Even Emphas Nest can bounce. So there's so much bounce that you really don't want to play a bounty and just lose a bounty, right? That's how Bosk Blue loses. They play a bounty and you just go Waylay or McClunky and laugh at their wasted death mark, right? So Dryden Boss, win more, Unrefusable Offer. I think I joked with someone at Minnesota that I ended up casting more home ones that weekend than most of the Ray Data Vault players. I just told them left and right, and that's what you have to do, right? Because when Cad Bang unit captures a Luke Skywalker unit, when they capture a home one, that home one is worth more than every unit in your deck. They will happily give you 2 cards. They're like, go ahead, draw 2 Cartel Spacers, draw 2 Crafty Smugglers. I'm going to take my home one back. So you can't even swing with the CAD, right? So you need something, whether it's Dryden or Unrefusable Offer, to clear out your CAD so you can start swinging with it. Otherwise, it's in Magic, we would call that like a 7-mana pacifism effect, right? Literally just the worst thing you could think of.
Now, chat, I want him roasted for saying mana, just like every single one of you roast me every time I say mana.
As for cards that I changed, though, so I think there's some really cool changes. So Nihil Marauder is making it more and more into the list. That is a card that is I was not high on at first because it's a 1/5 raid 3, right? It basically trades like all of its offense, or trades any kind of defensive power for its offense, right? And normally against units like Kira, against units like Ahsoka, even Cassian Andor, when they just play it on 3, they're happy to smack into it, take 1 back, and then your next move is Rather Telegraph, right? You kind of have to smack back into them and deal 4 and trade out, otherwise they get a free kill. But in this current meta, it seems to be very aggressive, very 2 ships passing in the night-esque. And I found that more and more that I can just swing with Nihil Marauder. My opponent's probably swinging at my base, not so much at the Nihil Marauder. And so in those situations, Nihil Marauder gives you equity against Quinlan and Towson, because it swings as a 4/5, meaning with Surprise Strike, it reaches 7. And that is a key threshold for it to reach, to be able to just hold a Quinlan or Towson leader hostage and be able to come down significantly before the 5 deploy. So that is a change. You can see I've always been on 3 Boba, but this set is the first time that I have been on a 2-2 split between Boba and Nihil Marauder. You'll see that Houndstooth has no longer made the deck. Houndstooth is a card that I exclusively use to beat Millennium Falcon unit. Millennium Falcon unit has always been the worst enemy of 25 health bases, especially when it's in the hands of Han 1, where they can turbo out turn 1. You can see that my list from Indy SWU, the one I just played Christian with, had 3 Greedos as well. Greedo is legendary. It's not legendary. It's unique. But my list for JTL was maximized to beat Han 1 Data Vault, because you go up to 3 Greedos to maximize the amount of times that you can see exactly Greedo and McClunky on turn 1. So that way you can go play the Greedo, and then if they decide to ramp into the Millennium Falcon, you can go McClunky 3+1 to kill the Falcon without taking that 3 damage. And also, you run the Houndstooth, because you can sneak attack Houndstooth. You can let the 3/4 Falcon hit you, and then sneak attack the Houndstooth, basically first strike the Falcon with your 4/3/4 power, and then McClunky it back to hand, right? And then just hopefully destroy something else, or just keep the 3/4 body as a check on the Falcon. The 3/4, or as a 4/3 body. The 3/4 Mist Hunter does not cleanly answer the Millennium Falcon. So you can see that now that Han 1 has largely disappeared from the format, it's mostly correct to switch to 3 copies of the Mist Hunter. And Houndstooth is also a liability against a blue leader. And so it also loses equity when your opponent can just go Baby Han 2 for 2 resources, play a 3/1 Cloud Rider basically, and crash into your Houndstooth. So you don't really want that to expose yourself to that, that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Aura Sing is probably the most salient change, simply because, well, it's arguably one of the best turn 1 plays in the game, one of the best 2-drops, right? It is above rate. It essentially is a 3/4. It has hidden. It doesn't need hidden. And it has both Underworld and Bounty Hunter traits, which lets it cash in on the Relentless Pursuit. And it reaches a key threshold to where you can stop Gunjis. For example, Gunji was printed as a response to Ping Tarkin Town, right? Gunji is a turn 1 unit that simply will not die to Ping Tarkin Town, unless it's Mig's Tarkin Town, right? But in those matchups where you really need to keep them off the force base, so I'm specifically looking at Han 2 green, but also maybe an Obi-Wan deck, right, that's using the force token, you actually want to claim the initiative whenever you can and play Aura Sing first, and hopefully have a blaster or a surprise strike to be able to hit first, and then ideally blast, or even suppressor will do, just to take him off the force token. It's a lot of toughness you have to fight through, but Aura Sing lets you do that, whereas with Crafty Smuggler, for example, a blaster simply will not kill a Gunji, right? And not to speak of Bazine or even Greedo just trading himself in. So Aura Sing plays a key role. Shoot First was added because it is a trick and it gives you a lot more equity against the ground-based decks, such as what you see in Han 2 Blue. And I actually ran 2 Shoot First. I still run 2 Shoot First now, one in the main, one in the side. It's a trick. You can play it off, so you can go 4 cost, play Jabba, dig 8, find Shoot First, and still play Shoot First, which is insane. And against Chirrut is a big roadblock for this deck. This is a largely ground and pound deck, even more now so that Set 1 Falcon is not as ubiquitous as it once was. So Shoot First is really powerful in that regard, letting you keep your units healthy and basically fight better on the ground. Let's see. Aside from that, go ahead.
No, I do have a question just about.
I also have a question too.
General, because I'm sure everyone is kind of in chat, kind of has this question as well. Looking at your list, I'm counting a total of 5 red cards. 3 of them are just played, usually with the yellow aspect. So, is that trade-off there really worth that 9 HP gap you could get from just playing late country?
Great question. I was eventually going to make a video talking about this. Cad Bane is 100%. Cad Bane Tarkin now is 100% a red-yellow villainy deck. It is not a yellow deck. I know the Lake Country version of Cad Bane has popped up before in various incarnations, but it's one of your most powerful plays. How was I going to explain this? I was going to explain this in like a lesson video. So in Magic, which is where most of my TCG background is, they say that the person who uses more mana over the course of a game is going to win. And so you run into situations where on 4 resources, and I'll promise that'll be the last time I use the term mana, right? On 4 resources, you may find yourself needing to use 3 resources to play a particular unit. Especially on 5 resources, you may find yourself having to play 4 cost Forlong, right, to ambush into a 3/5 and ping to kill it. So what do you do with that last resource? This is why I play cards like, I have to play McClunky, but even Shoot First, right? These are what we call curve fillers. They allow you to maximize the amount of resources you use each turn, and that translates into more impact on the board, more impact on your opponent's life. So 1s are incredibly powerful. Everybody knows that on 5 resources, you can go 3+2, right? But to have the option to go 2+2+1, now you're a facsimile of a Quinlan deck, and that's what makes Quinlan Tarkin Town so powerful, right? But even earlier, you can go on a 4, you can go 3+1, you can even go 2+1, right? Against these Power of the Dark Side decks, you can eschew playing Boba Fett unit or Nihil Trooper on turn 2. You can just go Aura Sing Greedo, a 2 and a 1, right? 2+1, and now their Power of the Dark Side is a lot worse. So now that I've said that, playing Blaster from hand for 1 is one of the most powerful plays in this deck. It allows you to turn the corner against Sabine ECL on the CAD deploy turn, where you can just go, for example, like a Zuckuss or sneak attack Zuckuss and play Blaster from hand, right? When I teach you how to play this deck, you generally don't want to resource the second Blaster. When you have one Blaster in row, that's fine. You cannot play two Blasters from row in one single action. So you really only need one Blaster in the row at any time. The second Blaster, in non-grindy attrition matchups, I will keep that second Blaster in hand because you can actually play the Blaster from hand and you do not force the attack and you actually don't want to attack, and then you can Blaster again. For example, I was playing, this was a late round at day 1 of Sector Qualifiers in Richmond. I played against an Anakin Skywalker, Anakin from Twilight. This was a set for blue base. And the Anakin Skywalker, game 1, I crushed him. I've never lost to an Anakin because Cad Bane plus Surprise Strike is dead Anakin. So the way you play that matchup is I kill his units with Extreme Prejudice. I force him to deploy his Anakin as a measly 4 or 5 power, 7 toughness. I have my Cad deployed and ready and waiting, and then I Surprise Strike. Cad is 4 damage, plus 3 is 7. Once he loses the Anakin, game's over. Never lost, right? Well, after he got hit by that, he played Regional Governor, and he named Surprise Strike, going into Anakin turn. I said, that's cool. I had a Blaster in the row, I had a Blaster in the hand. So I played a Blaster from hand onto Cad, and I said, go ahead. And then he has no more actions left. He deploys the Anakin, and I go second Blaster, and I hit for 8, right? So you can also do that when you're planning lethal, too, because you can play one Blaster from hand and then Blaster from a row to deal, especially when your opponent early claims, right? Then you go Blaster from hand, Blaster from row, right? And you actually don't want to attack. So Blaster from row is so useful. I think Blaster as a one drop as a curve filler is integral to the deck because ultimately you are an aggressive deck. You cannot grind against other decks forever. I don't know if you guys watched my games against John Tata. I played him twice on Ray Data Vault, and those were grindy, like 90-minute games, right? And the thing is, you cannot outgrind Ray Data Vault. That is her greatest strength, right? But you can keep up. And I was pushing this deck to the limits to where like I was using Unrefusable Offer to raise Ray Data Vault's units to continue grinding. But at a certain point, you waylay the home one, you've bought yourself a turn. It's coming down next turn. It's going to bring some other, like Sentinel Village Protector unit with it. You've bought yourself a turn. You don't have forever.
Shields down moment.
Right. That's why you need the pump. That's why I'm maxed out on pump spells. And that's why having explosive plays is so important when you're a tempo deck.
And Ray Data Vault is definitely coming back.
Absolutely. You've got that Mon Mothma. That's going to be a beast. And if you have spy tokens, Mon Mothma's going to have a field day, just like swinging into your 0-2 spies. That's going to be...
I'm intrigued to see if the new Mashion Row legend does anything with spies. I'm sure there's going to be some go wide list that's going to punch me for 4 with every spy token. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good call out. Ray, my one question, about the deck is, so I've seen your list. I've kind of followed, I've stalked you on Melee plenty of times throughout your victories here. And my question is, so I know that you in the past have been obviously off of, now there are 2 of them, one of my favorite cards. And then when you were off of that, you did not have 3 Zuckuss, I don't believe. So I noticed when you brought in, now there are 2 of them back, was the 3rd Zuckuss, was that in hopes that you could play that on turn 2, or why did you go from 2 to 3 on Zuckuss? Great
question. I dropped to 2 Zuckuss for the period of time when Han 2 blue was just everywhere. I anticipated that deck to be very prevalent at Worlds. Sadly, I did not face a single Han 2 blue at Worlds, even though I teched my main board for it. I ended up facing like Thrawn yellows and a bunch of nonsense Anakin control lists. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's a card game. It's a tournament, right? Yeah, Anakin control. I bazinged his hand game 3, and I saw open fire, entrench, takedown, force lightning, force throw, and I'm just like, bro, I play creatures too, man. I need
units, Ray. Units. They're not creatures here.
Units, right? So to answer your question, I did not anticipate Forlom surviving to enable a Zuckuss ambush, and I actually went up to 3 Bosk. And so that was one situation where the combination of shoot first and Bosk and just having 3 Bosks, what I felt was the right call to play into Hantu. And again, I didn't play into Hantu blue, but that was a minor change. Very quickly we're coming back to 3 Zuckuss. And when you play against a Tarkin Town deck, like for example Quinlan, right? You want to go, now there are 2 of them, into a turn 2 Zuckuss and then just coast to victory. You just like
Yeah.
beat their face in, put a blaster on, ask him to answer it. You do not want to, now they're 2 of them into Bosk, ambush something and they just Tarkin down your boss. Because then they're down 1 unit plus Tarkin Town. You're down 2 cards and basically your whole turn. So that's not a good trade. And with Tarkin Town, we're back to like the 2 Bosk, and then now there are 2 of them. And ultimately, though, if you're particularly ego-eyed, you'll see that I cut, now there are 2 of them, from 3 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a reason for that. The reason is, back when Sabine ECL was more prevalent, you wanted to maximize your now there are 2 of them to have that explosive potential on turn 2. Now Sabine ECL is not nowhere to be found, but it's far less common than it once was. The reason you run 2 is because against Quinlan Tarkin, and I don't know if I want to give up too many secrets right now, but it's
that's all right.
I'll show you how to play against Quinlan Tarkin Town as Cad Bane Tarkin Town, right? Because Quinlan's everywhere. Maybe not till Monday, but like as of right now, it's everywhere. Quinlan likes to pass into you, right? You're both Tarkin Town decks. You're both playing that. Don't blink first, kind of like gunslinger duel kind of game. If you pass back, a lot of times, or if you pass into them, they'll claim, right? They'll play guerrilla soldiers and stuff. But the main thing is, if Quinlan passes and keeps the board clear, now you move closer to 5 resources. And what happens on 5 resources? Well, if you have 1 underworld unit, you can play, now there are 2 of them, into Cad Bane unit on 5 resources. They have no way to take care of that unit. Anytime you play ahead of curve against Quinlan, they cannot ping your thing, right? That's why Han 1 has such a field day with Quinlan decks. They're like, oh, I played a 3-on-2. Go ahead, try to ping it, right? They can't ping it. So they can't ping that Cad. They can't crash Depa Balaba into it. They need to crash multiple things into it and not have used Tarkin Town. So the secret to beating Quinlan is to just play into this little pass game, and they're never going to feed you a unit. They feed you turn 1 Adi Gali. You just go Crafty Smuggler, ping, Tarkin Down, move on with your life, right? So they're never going to play into it. They'll play 1 unit on turn 2. You'll play 1 unit on turn 2, right? And this is where it gets a little hard. Sometimes you need to see, can I play in the same arena and trade out the unit? Because you really want to play like a Jabba or another sticky unit on 4 and have the first unit die, or play Jabba and then play a free McClunky to return the first unit back to hand, deal 3+1, and set up that, go into that 4 resource where you have like a Jabba or another unit that they just can't get rid of, or you have first action and you cheat out the Cad. Once you cheat out the Cad, you've captured something, they've lost all their tempo, they're also a 25 health base, and you just go Cad, pound their face, it's over, right? Yeah. So the way to beat Quinlan is to play ahead of curve. Cad Bane is a very, very fair deck, and this is why I've built the deck in a way to try to give it a little unfair edge in that particular matchup. And so why do I only run 2 now? There are 2 of them? Well, because it's no longer as pertinent to find that turn 2 now there are 2 of them. You're finding the turn 4 or 5 resource 4. One. Yeah. So you're more likely to find it. And if you play the Jabba, you can just dig it out. Right.
And that
so
Cad is gross on turn 5. So
right.
Good.
So that's kind of the rationale there. It was a very careful decision, but I think it's the right one.
Love it. All right, Christian, let's dive into your updates for set 5. And I noticed that this set does say set 4. So this is actually your set 5 build. You just haven't updated the name because you weren't planning on sharing this on stream.
Again, we are a professional production.
We've got Anakin. Well, I don't think Christian knew that we were going to be throwing this up there for all to see. So what are some changes you made in this version, in the Legends of the Force version of it?
I mean, I'm not going to do as well as Ray diving into the deck. He did fantastic. What I like about Cad Blue is it kind of just like you build it to what you want to be. With this deck list, I wanted to play well into the Force Throw decks and have submit a lot of smuggle cards, and then also have that edge into space aggro decks. And Anakin Bamboozle just unlocks that space aggro matchup for you. It's just so much better to play Anakin now as opposed to like so many space units. I still have a decent amount, but not as much as I was running previously.
I feel like Anakin was almost a godsend for you. It just really allowed you to present a threat and removal in the same kind of weird niche that you were already pursuing. Like, it seems like it's fit in such a great curve. The only thing it was missing was an underworld tag.
Yeah. that would have been great, right? But no, it's just like I built the deck. This is the one that I won the PQ set 5 with. It's just like I added the extra smuggle as Tobias in because all the like Quinlan's, Han2s, all the like hand hate. It's just like, all right, cool. They like pillage you and force throw you on 5. Well, guess what? Here's a Tobias or Long Pike. I've developed my board now. So like, good luck facing the amount of pressure now. But yeah, really just
refresh us on what Tobias does. I haven't seen his
so
early Boba 2. I mean Boba 1 double yellow list.
absolutely.
He is
There's
smuggle too, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Blue smuggle.
Blue smuggle, which is great. He's interesting. He has a weird interaction that you rarely get to play, but when you do, you feel very cool about it. So he reads whenever you play a non-unit card, you may exhaust a unit that costs the same or less than the card you played. You can only use that ability once each round. So that is like my Power of the Dark Side is my Relentless Pursuits. I can tap a unit down that costs 3 or less. But if I have a ship out and Tobias out, and then I pilot Boba on one of the ships, it's no longer a unit card. So I get to tap down something that costs 5. For the cost of 2, get the Boba, get the tap down. It happened maybe once in the day at the PQ because I mean, I only run them as a 1 of, but it's a cool niche interaction. And it also just gives you something to smuggle out on 5 to guarantee that you have something in the row.
Yeah, that smuggle density and just being aware of your play lines you can take to close out games is such a big strength that I feel like a lot of players underestimate, is just knowing what your deck can and cannot do. Like there's certain lines that you're just not going to win the game with taking in your deck, but there are other lines that may not seem like the best route at first hand, but is a great payoff. Like here, for example, would be throwing away your Bamboozle on a turn that may not seem the greatest, but just to set up a great -6 with Anakin. Now, this is a ignorant view of CAD because I'm not a connoisseur, but this is just an easy call out of something that allows you to just know the play lines of what your deck can do. And I think, Christian, you do a great job of just knowing what you are capable of.
Yep. And I'll say too, as somebody who has tried to pick up this deck, it's complicated. Like it is not just pick it up and it's figure it out. Like you know every single card in this deck, and I can speak, having spoken to other people who have picked up this deck, it is not an easy deck to pilot. You have a reason for every card in this deck, and if you don't know those reasons, it's a puzzle. It is a puzzle, and I've probably had that conversation 3 times with other people. I've even had that conversation on Petronaki with people that I know are definitely playing your list. It was like, Christian? No, this is not him. Like, oh, did you find this on SWU Competitive? Yeah. Like, oh, okay.
I've had the conversation with Christian on the late nights that we've talked about CAD Blue, and I just feel like at a certain point, I'm like, I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. Like I'm just reinforcing thoughts that you've either already had or you have already dismissed.
Yeah. Any other comments about this and any changes you've made for Legends of the Force?
This one was pretty. Not really much changes were made. Again, the space package is weaker, but with the inclusion of Anakin, it makes it kind of stronger in a sense, and you get a 5/7, which 5/7 great stats on 6. Like, not much is killing that.
Yeah,
that they don't have to dedicate a whole turn into killing. I like the Dryden in blue. I get the option to power the dark side Relentless Pursuit on 6 into a Dryden, which is very powerful, into like heroic decks like Han 2, blue, green, anything that's really trying to drop a 6 drop on 6. I feel comfortable in doing that. Took it out in the Cadmere. It doesn't do anything for you in Cadmere, so it's a dead card in some matchups, but I like it. I think it's fun. That's why it's still there.
Nice. So one question before we get into, let me take this off the screen, before we get into the predictions for tomorrow's meta announcement. And maybe this is a good question for after we discuss the meta announcement, but can you foresee these decks changing in a non-force throw meta? Right.
Yeah.
Is that an open floor question?
That's an open floor question.
So really, I would assume the slots that are taken by these smuggle threats would at least start to decrease, because that's kind of the main reason smuggle threats are existing right now, in my opinion, is because the 2-for-1 that you take when you get force thrown can sometimes just be so hard to recover from that you need out of hand options to try to just get back in the game.
Christian, Ray, any thoughts on changes that you could foresee if force throw is banned tomorrow?
So this is the case where just force throw is banned, correct?
In this alternate reality.
Magical Christmas
We can
land.
talk through each situation. If just force throw gets banned, I think Quinlan still survives. It's an integral part of Quinlan. The deck won't be as dominant as before, but I've won multiple games as Quinlan without playing a single copy of force throw.
I agree.
Right? And they can just go and play a few more 1-drops, right? I'm already playing a Quinlan Tarkentown version that plays copies of. I prefer to play the 501st. I know some of my friends have played Greedo in there as well, but I just like playing 501st. It's not legendary and it has like all that toughness, right? So you can play these 1-drops and stop the Vader Yellow units. Right?
Is that the 1/3 with Raid 1?
Yes, 501st little soldier boy. So I don't think it'll disappear. We have a local player here in Columbus who top 8'd a PQ with Big Quinlan Red, and that's a version of the deck that didn't even use Tarkentown. So I think Quinlan is just such a strong leader, right? It has an action cheating ability. Same with CAD, where you just play your thing and you get a benefit without wasting an action on it. I do think a post force throw Quinlan would revert to, if it's still on Tarkentown, would be a post force throw Quinlan would not be like the tier 1 threat or potentially S tier threat that it is. As for Han, I think it relied even less on force throw, to be honest. And force throw was there. It was an annoying thing. And it was a great answer when you could force throw yourself and toss a crate. But it has access to all the removal spells in the format. The Rivals Falls, the Shatter Points, the Fell of the Dragons. It's not going to just roll over and die because it lost force throw. So I do think that a lot of these decks will stick around. So...
All right. So what are we predicting for Monday? One of the theories I've heard is just force throw, obviously. What do you guys think? What do you think is the most likely outcome? And then what would you like to see?
You can go ahead, Christian.
Get force throw out of here. That's my only thing. Like the game at its current state is, I love the game, but it's not really enjoyable after you've grinded so many matches. Like for me, I played a lot before Worlds, and after Worlds, I was just like, I don't want to play this meta. Like
Hashtag should have paid Padawan.
Never. But yeah, just I hope that force throw gets banned. If it doesn't, boo-hoo me. Like it doesn't really affect what I'm doing. Like, but something's got to be done with it, in my opinion.
I'll cry with you if it doesn't get the hammer, Christian.
Perfect.
For this since it came.
A group cry session.
Like, yeah, it's fine. Men are allowed to cry, especially we're allowed to hug too. We'll even do it in the sacred parking lot. Like, it'll be fine.
Do you think, Christian? Do you think? I know this won't happen because FFG is very outspoken on not issuing errata. But would you be fine if force throw had said? Was errata to say that target opponent must discard, so you can no longer discard yourself.
Mm.
You see, as somebody that plays blue primarily, I don't usually care if my units die.
That's fair. So it's the flexibility, right? The fact that they could discard themselves. For example, the Quinlan mirror is kind of dumb in the sense that it's like, oh look, I drew Han and force throw. I can't wait for him to deploy, right?
On the 6 resource turn.
One mana.
Right, against control decks, you just use the force throw offensively to
one mana kill anything conditionally is a little strong. Like,
yeah.
Just subjective, like just speaking plain terms, like one mana.
Magic terms specifically, not plain, but
one resource, kill anything just because I have a force unit, and the minor deck construction that I have to include the best finisher in the game. Like, okay, it's a little bit too much give with how much they've made force common. In the early days, it was no kind of issue. I had no problem with my Boba armored Boba Fett getting by a force thrown crate dragon. That was easily acceptable. But now this meta, Force Throw is just a universal answer to everything your opponent tries to do.
Yeah.
And it's a curve filler, like Raytan said. It's available at every turn of the game, and you could still provide adequate pressure with no set behind. Like, it's just unspeakable how much advantage you get just by allowing to play a Force Throw deck.
Yeah. Another thing I've heard, and Austin says here in the comments, return of Django. I can't foresee a Django, but I would love to see Boba 1. Love to see it.
I've heard people talk of Triple Dark Raid. This is not just me on my normal complaining of Triple Dark Raid. I believe I watched, don't quote me, but I unfortunately watched the Thork video earlier today. It was mentioned that there was talk of an unbanning of Triple Dark, but he did go into the conversation of the bad side of that. And I kind of agree, allowing the new spaceship, I forget its name, but it's the same cost as Devastator, that it does allow too much, I think, just easy advantage. But let's wait and see. I would love to see Triple Dark Raid get unbanned, considering I hold 22 copies of them. So,
what about Boba 1 unban?
I would love to see that too. I'll break the.
You think it's too strong now? I always thought that Boba's armor in set 2 was one of the strongest things you can do, but now everybody's running upgrade hate for all the pilots, so there's so much general hate. Like, I feel like if you let Boba put on his armor, that's on you now.
Exactly. If Boba gets unbanned tomorrow, I will post a video in the Discord of me taking a hammer and freeing my showcase from the picture frame prison in my living room.
Yes.
Like, the return of Boba Fett.
Coming back from what it's the
mirror dimension.
The mirror dimension in Superman. Yeah. I would love a Boba 1 unban. I don't think he would be as powerful in this meta as he was in set 1 or 2. But I think that would probably be the bigger mix up of just getting rid of Force Throw.
Just so we're clear, I don't think it'll happen. Boba's not seeing play again until Eternal is launched.
Yeah, I don't think anybody here thinks that'll happen, but I think it'll be cool.
I would love to dream.
Yeah.
I think the biggest reason it won't happen is because, FFG is making these decisions partly around promoting the new set. I think if you look at set 3 almost killed this game because of how underpowered and unpopular just the cards were from a meta standpoint. Obviously, Clone Wars is one of the most popular epochs of Star Wars. But if FFG has visibility into the set, we don't. We haven't seen very much of the set at all. And there is a chance that they certainly don't want to unban Boba 1 and have people excited to play Boba more so than, Digimiro or whatever official weenie Tribo decks that they have coming in the new set, right? They want to, I think this decision, if there is a decision on Monday, and I think there will be, is going to also be to pave the way for people to be excited for the new cards. Maybe not all the leaders, but at least some of the leaders and some of the key cards. So I think that is also in FFG's decision calculus, whether we wanted to or not. So
I will say, as a talking point, using Evan's comment that Basinger just flagged up, what I would personally like to see happen, and this is just because I am a complainer and moaner, I would love to see Force Throw and Tarkentown take the axe. Leave Data Vault alone.
No.
We can meet behind the alleyway if you unban Boba Fett. I don't think there's really anything else I care about, but get rid of those things. I'm tired of red decks killing my Pershings on turn 1. It's really annoying.
How am I killing your Pershing on turn 1?
I have a Kylo in my locals, man. I have a Kylo, I have a Sabine, I have a pseudo retro locals that I have to hyper plan for. Kira Data Vault never goes away, but that unbanning Boba is a way to get me off of it.
So I will say that I think Tarkentown is a Shane Kessler is just like you're taking enough from me. I do think Tarkentown is a vital part of the ecosystem. It holds Sabine and a lot of these hyper aggro decks in check. And if you took out Tarkentown, Sabine would really only fear Chirrut. And she doesn't even fear Chirrut all that much, right? Sabine ECL is making a comeback. She has space options to just sidestep the Chirrut. And then if you get Sabine ECL back on the rise because there's no ping Tarkentown decks, then do you ban ECL with it? If you hit ECL, then blue-green villain has a field day and Han 1's just cackling in the background, right? So it's like it's an ecosystem. It's a balanced ecosystem, right? Right. I think going any further, so my pick is Force Throw ban only tomorrow. I think if you go any further than that, you risk just tampering with this ecosystem and then asking yourself, why are the deer stepping on all my grass? Well, it's because you killed all the wolves, right? Like,
maybe
no more
not
grass.
to be a naysayer,
So-
but I highly doubt that force throw is just going to be surgically taken by itself.
You think it's just that? You think it's something else too?
If force throw is hit, I can almost promise you that something else will be taken. I highly doubt that force throw will be the only ban, especially considering how much noise there's been about force throw in general since before the set even released. I don't think that they're going to be reactive in this way to finally take all this complaining into heed without anything else getting the axe as well. Now, granted, let's keep in mind, I don't know anything of what I'm talking about. Just some random chud that got 2-0'd by these guys. So I don't know, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be a single card that gets hit, if anything is hit.
Christian, what's your money on?
What's my money on? I mean, all I care about is the force throw, essentially. But if Data Vault gets hit, I would love to see Matt's reaction to that. So let's add that to my list. Let's go there.
Data Vault.
Why?
I don't think Data Vault gets hit. I don't think Data Vault gets hit because we're about to hit rotation, right?
Yeah.
Data Vault is a card that increases in power the more fungibility of threats you have, right? Vader and Maul at both 7-cost green ones are fungible largely, right? They're big payoffs that you can play on 7. That's
craving power.
Once we cut out, not even just half the meta, but like most of the good stuff that came in sets 1 and 2, the threats become so sparse. If you run Data Vault post-rotate, like immediately post-rotation, you're running a deck that like has a drop of quality in a sea of chaff, right? And that's... I don't think they're going to want to ban. I don't think it's right from a meta standpoint to ban Data Vault unless it becomes problematic right here, right now. I don't think it's right this close to rotation. Just let it. Data Vault will weaken itself in due time and then slowly strengthen itself with more time.
I agree with ban Kira.
Yeah, AJ's on this.
What has Kira done? I've not even done anything. I'm just a locals big fish.
Ban Kira and Bosk, please.
Leave me alone.
I mean, yeah. I don't think it's going to get the axe as well, but I really hope that the development team are like, okay, here, what do we want to ban? And then play test accordingly. So say they wanted to ban force throw. Now let's see what the meta kind of looks like without force throw. Let's play test that. Let's see what this looks like, and then take other bans accordingly compared to that. That's putting a lot of faith in FFG. I don't know if they're doing that or not, but I would like to see them like sitting on this decision for a while because they've been playtesting the meta without force throw.
All right, let's we've been going for an hour and a half, so let's start wrapping this bad boy up. Fat Matt, how's the raffle going to work?
I have been collecting the names in the chat. I think we're fine to close off entry whenever we want, and then I can just do the raffles here.
You're just gonna do it on Discord?
Yeah, I have all the names input into a random generator here, and I am just going to click it 3 times for the 3 prizes I have.
All right.
Sound good for everyone?
Yeah. Do we want to you want to say what the prizes are?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was reaching for this moment. So the first thing we're going to be raffling off here is a stitched Battle of Scarif playmat by I forget who makes these. Game Genic.
Nice.
And then the second prize is going to be a single green command deck pod here. The third and the ultimate prize here is going to be your own custom set of Painbringer Dragon Art Brush Art Sleeve. Dragon Sleeve Brush Art Sleeve. These
That's
are
embarrassing.
A wonderful addition to anyone's collection.
Those are beautiful.
Exactly. Thank you. Like, they are such a magnificent piece of artwork. Look at this beautiful mug.
What a masterpiece.
It was a wonderful, wonderful endeavor that we took as a community group to get these on quite a few Twin Suns decks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I think there's a big Twin Suns play group that sees a lot of your face spacing.
That is mortifying.
It's wonderful, and I love to hear it.
Yeah. So
all right.
Evan says it's the top prize.
It is the top prize, Evan. All All right, so the first thing we're giving away here, it looks like. Let's see what my randomizer says.
One thing. Somebody does say, is Petra getting those card backs? Neither one of Christian or Ray were using the Indy SWU card backs on Petranaki. What the hell, guys?
They're card backs. I don't.
What horrible representation of the community. We spent like an hour talking you guys up as Titans, and then you spit on us.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, we couldn't even figure out the spectator link, so.
And I do want to give a special shout out to Wyatt for putting the work and pestering the Petranaki people to get our SWU back into the program. It is pride swelling to see that we can be on there showing everyone else who we are every time we go to sling digital cardboard.
And one thing I will say about our online community is it's great. Indianapolis and Central Indiana, we have a lot of people that are out on the outskirts of Indiana, myself included, of Indianapolis. We've got a great community, a fun community, a competitive and a casual community. And it's a really cool community. If you're from the area or frequent Indiana regularly, like Ray does, be sure to pop in. We can send you an invite. Just write in the comments you want an invite, and we'll send one. But we've got weekly play every night of the week in Central Indiana. We have got Discord tournaments. Right now we're doing one called Padawan, where it's commons only format. We do Premier. We do we just started one called A New Hope, and when a new set drops, you can only use leaders from the new set. You can
interrupt real quick. Cad Blue is also the reigning champion in Padawan tournament as well. Just to speak to the power of Underworld here in this.
Yes, Matt is our current reigning champ for Padawan. But yeah, it's a great community. No S cards, as our good friend.
I also want to shout out Mario for putting Padawan onto Petranaki for us as well.
Yep.
Wonderful work. Glad to see the impact we're making as a greater community. Hopefully we can maybe get this eventually as a sanction, maybe not sanctioned, but more of a community accepted format where we get people really numbers going into this thing.
And I did hear rumor of a possible 1K in Padawan format.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Matt, come win money with your $2 deck list.
Yeah. All right, let's get to these giveaways. The people are dropping like fishes.
First winner here was King Dite of the Battle of Scarif playmat.
All right.
You just need to get a hold of me on Discord. Yes, Evan, get a hold of me on Discord, and we will discuss how you get this. Second winner for the deck pod here is Lost Ronin. Lost Ronin, you have also won the Command Green deck pod. And for the third and top prize here, we have Joby 1319.
That's a Columbus loco.
All right.
It looks like Christian. We'll have Christian bring that prize to Columbus when it comes to the planetary qualifier in Columbus.
All right.
Saturday, so.
We'll work something out. I'll be the mule if I have to.
I apologize to all of Columbus for those cards, please.
I expect him to run it at every event. Those sleeves.
Now, if you don't use these Joby 1, you just have to give these away in trades. That way, we can get Base Singer Space International.
That is what I did not buy my own card sleeves, but I was gifted some, and I've just started putting them in my trades. Like, I got to get rid of these. I can't have these.
I will gladly say that I spearheaded the crusade for getting custom art sleeves of Base Singer in our community. It seemed like a wonderful way to get everyone to make fun of him instead of me.
Shout out to John Morris in the chat. Raytan Christian Tobey 2028. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, I just want to shout out. You guys are. I've been around to a lot of different tournaments, a lot of different cities. I'm in many different Discords. Arizona, Michigan, all over. I think Indy's SWU community is probably the model community in the nation. You guys have so much engagement. Like you said, you guys can play weeklies every single night of the week. I could not name another city that even comes close. I'm very involved with my own community here in Columbus. I know some people in chat like Austin are as well. And we're racking our heads trying to see how can we engage more. We do have stores that are dropping SWU as an offering. And some part of it's not our fault, right? Part of it's just Twilight was bad. The Boba meta in set 2 was bad. The Django meta was bad. And part of it is how can we engage people more? We're trying to do this kind of cross-pollination, right? Like, hey, Columbus, play someone in Indy, maybe someone in Dayton next time. And I think it's a good idea. We've started an online league, but I think it's a great thing to kind of like put all our heads together, people in the comments, people that are watching, that are from other communities. How can we go home to our own communities and raise the level of engagement? I think you guys set a good model for that. So shout out to you guys.
Thanks, Ray. I really appreciate it. And
It is appreciated, Ray.
It is a great community. I'm so happy to be a part of it. It's we're doing some fun things over there. So again, if you're in that market, come join us. Everyone, thank you for joining this. Ray, thanks for the idea for having this battle. I loved it. This is my new favorite podcast. I'm going to listen again tomorrow and get all your tips on Ray Tarkentown.
I do have another idea. You ever heard of a crew battle?
I have not heard of a crew battle.
So a crew battle. Do you guys ever play Super Smash Bros?
Yeah.
You
Gray,
like
I have gray hair, man. Like I got gray hair and a kid. Like,
right. So a crew battle would be like 5 people from New York and 5 people from Cali. Each player has 3 lives, right?
Sure,
and you just fight. You put 1-on-1, you fight, and then whoever loses, that team has to put in someone else, and it's who's basically who's left. So One Piece, the card game, they actually do. You know how the One Piece is all about like you're a captain of a little ship, and you fight other captains, and your subordinates fight their subordinates. They actually have this concept in the card game, where your own store, like you are the you have a captain of your own store, you have a few little like subordinates, and you'll fight against another store. And so I think that's a really cool concept for a card game. I think like you can grab like 3-5 people from Indy, grab 5 players from who want to represent Dayton, 5 from Cleveland, and just have a little like city crew battle style tournament.
That would be awesome.
We got things in the works, it sounds like here, Ray. Love this.
A lot of good ideas, but execution is the hard part. So again,
Yeah.
we need a lot of people for that.
Yep.
I'm sure we could get something going with enough timing and preparation. There's nothing that I think we couldn't really do. See, we got volunteers right here already. Zach will be our first O2 drop of the event.
Oh, some Zach shade. Love it. Great idea for the crew battle. I love it. All right, y'all. Let's let people have the rest of their night. I thank you again for both of you guys showing up. Man, we're an hour and 42 minutes in. This has been a lot of fun. Share this with people. Get in the Discord, subscribe. There may be more coming up. But we wanted to try this first one out and let people know that they want CAD content. This is the place to go.
So I guess unofficially, I'm a 3-time PQ winner now, right? Sorry, Chris.
Completely stopped me.
You have a necklace with all the teeth you've collected on it. Or not Ray. I'm looking at Ray.
All right.
And to all the people in the comments who did not believe me, I love you. Who did not vote for me.
Yeah, love it. All right. We need a rematch of some sort to defend Indy's honor here.
I mean, Basinger, we're getting called out as me and you as the next fight night. So
that sounds embarrassing. I'm sure I would lose to you very easily. So, all right, guys, let's close it out here. Thank you. Thanks again to everybody. And then everyone slide into Matt chat or Matt Fat Matt's DMs to get all your needs. So, all right. We'll see y'all later.
Take care, guys.
Everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye. All right.